Welcome back to the Battle Camp. Thank you for clicking on this video. If it's your first time, please hit the subscribe button. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. Big baby Jarrell Miller, has tested positive for a performance-enhancing drug, and to my mind, he's out of the fight with Anthony Joshua. They haven't officially announced that he's out, but I can't see them resolving this issue in time for a June the 1st fight with AJ. My phone went crazy last night. Notifications from Twitter and stuff like that. I was asleep, and when I woke up, I just saw loads of notifications from different people that I follow. Eddie Hearn tweeted it, so I knew it was real. He wouldn't joke. It's not April the 1st. And what kind of dickhead enjoys an April Fool's joke? Like, come on. Anyway, yeah. So Eddie Hearn tweeted it. Dan Raphael tweeted it. Dan Raphael was the first person that I saw that mentioned the name of the substance, and the substance is GW1516. GW1516 I'd never heard of. I went online and I had a look. I found an article on Forbes.com, and this sentence kind of explains to you what GW1516 is. And I quote, "One of the primary benefits of GW1516 is that it increases aerobic power and endurance for the obese and elderly." End quote. So this makes sense if you're Big Baby Miller, because what's his fighting style? He's known for being a pressure fighter, always walking forward, throwing high volumes of punches per round. And in order to do those things, what do you need? You need a big gas tank, you need endurance. So his fighting style, this drug is conducive to being good at that fighting style, if that makes sense. But that's obviously provided he's guilty. He still needs to have his day in court. It might be a tainted supplement. It might be. And I feel like the words tainted supplement are well known amongst MMA fans, but not so much with boxing fans. So I'll explain to you briefly what that means. So a tainted supplement basically is when you buy a substance, when you buy a supplement, a legal supplement, a supplement that isn't on the banned list for VADA, USADA, WADA, whatever, and that supplement itself has an illegal agent in it. So it's happened before where MMA fighters, UFC fighters have been taking legal supplements that they bought from over the counter, or they've been given by a sponsor, etc., and they pop for a PED. They basically say, "No, I'm innocent. This is all I've taken," and they give USADA all of the supplements they've been taking. USADA tests the supplements, and within one of those supplements, they find the illegal agent. So there's a possibility that Big Baby Miller is in this boat. We just don't know. But the thing is, we don't have enough time for them to do these tests and prove his innocence, because the fight's on June the 1st. It's like 6 weeks away or something. And the way it's worked out with USADA and MMA fighters, this process takes months with, testing supplements, etc. Now, if he's guilty, if Big Baby Miller's guilty and he has knowingly taken a performance-enhancing drug, firstly, what a dickhead. This was gonna be the biggest payday you were ever gonna make. Ever. It was gonna raise your profile the most it's ever. This is gonna do so much for your boxing career, win or lose. And you lose it before even getting into the ring. Your payday and everything. What a dick. And this is if he's guilty. Obviously, we don't know if he's guilty, but if he is, how stupid you have to be. How stupid you have to be. Now, I'd argue, if he has been taking this PED, I'd argue that this isn't the first time. Look, if throughout your career you haven't been stringently tested for drugs, because generally speaking, you probably wasn't on the VADA test list. So if throughout your career you haven't had to submit random samples, piss and blood, and you only get tested on the night of the fight or whatever, or the week of the fight, etc., the risk of getting caught is substantially lower than if you are on the VADA list, right? So if you've got yourself into a position without using a PED, and now you're at the cusp of glory, you're one fight away of becoming world champion, millions of dollars, becoming the man in the division, like, why would you risk it knowing that you're gonna have to be tested randomly? Does that make sense? Like, what I'm trying to say is, if throughout your career you haven't taken these drugs but you're not being randomly tested, why would you risk it? Why would you risk taking a PED when you know you are being randomly tested? If you look at it the other way, if you've been taking this drug your whole career and now you're being randomly tested, but you know you've felt the benefits of these drugs, it becomes psychological as well as physical. You feel like, oh no, I won't be able to do it without the help of fucking GW 1516. So you risk it. That's why I'm saying I believe that if he is guilty, he's not. This isn't the first time he's done it. First fight he's done it for. This isn't the first time he's done it. It just wouldn't make sense to me. So that's it. Jarrell Miller looks like he's out of the fight. Eddie Hearn. I'll read out Eddie Hearn's tweet from last night because there's some information in there that's quite valuable to us boxing fans, and the website that I had the tweet loaded up for, ready for this bloody video, has chosen not to load up. But basically what Eddie Hearn said, oh, it's loaded now, so I can read the tweet out. We have been informed by VADA that there's been an adverse finding in Jarrell Miller's sample collected on March 20th, 2019. We're working with all relevant parties and will update with more details soon. AJ's preparation continue for June 1st at MSG. So the first thing that I'd like to just mention is fucking March the 20th, 2019. That's fucking a month ago. Why does it take these guys so long to test a bit of piss? I mean, don't get me wrong, I have no idea how you test piss. Like, I don't know how much effort it takes, I don't know how long it takes. But I don't think it should take this long. Do you know what I mean? If you've made him piss in a bottle on March the 20th, like, I'll give you a week to test that piss and come back and say, oh, this is dirty. Like, I know, like, what they do is, like, you piss in a bottle and you have they put it into two different bottles, sample A, sample B. If you test positive in sample A, they'll test sample B, which is probably what they've done. They've tested it to make sure, and it's come out now, but it takes too long. Anyway, forget that. AJ's preparation continues for June 1st, so he's definitely fighting on June the 1st. Who's he going to fight? Who is he going to fight? So Joseph Parker, I've seen, has already thrown his hat in the ring. I don't really want to see that fight again. None of you guys probably want to see that fight again. It wasn't really that exciting the first time around. In fact, it was probably AJ's most boring fight ever. I personally want to see him fight Luis Ortiz. I don't think Luis Ortiz is scheduled for a fight with anyone. It still gives him enough time to train for a fight if they do it. If they sort something out now, as in the next couple of days, it will still give him a 6-week training camp. So it's not like ultra last minute. I'd definitely like to see that fight with Luis Ortiz. Who else? I mean, like, there's other people that haven't got a dance partner. Dillian Whyte, people like that. But Dillian Whyte was adamant he wanted a 14-week training camp, so he won't be stepping in to replace Big Baby Miller. But if he is going to fight, it has to be a name of note. I would have even said Pulev prior, but since he kissed that bird, he's in hot water, so he won't be able to fight anyone. Anyone else apart from Luis Ortiz is a bit... meh. Feel sorry for AJ because the whole point of him fighting in New York, you know, obviously it was to raise his profile, but Big Baby Miller, that was a good dance partner because Big Baby Miller can talk shit. He's from Brooklyn, New York, and that was the angle that they were using, and now it's all fucked up. Obviously, this is very early days. It's kind of breaking news, so I'm basically, a lot of what I've just said is just speculation. We don't know a lot of this stuff for certain. The only thing that we do know is Big Baby Miller has pissed hot for a substance called GW1516, and to my mind, he's out of the fight with Joshua. Let me know what you guys think. Put your comments below. Please don't be scared to share this with a friend, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'll catch you guys next time.